Hi guys, welcome to this episode of Chat with Chaya. Today we are making berry bars. Berry bars are very exciting. They're vegan. I got them from Texas Aaron. Again, I'm going to adapt the recipe so it works. The recipe usually uses blueberries, so I decked out for blue. But I am a huge strawberry person, so we're going to sneak some strawberries into the recipe. Let's get started. So we're going to get started with 1 1/2 cup of oats. That's rolled oats. Whatever oats you have, rolled is probably a little bit easier. I used organic oats. Make sure that they are organic so that we continue with our vegan and good healthy eating. So make sure you have about a cup. Again, recipes, you want to adapt things the way it works for you. There's one. So those are our oats. So there's your 3/4 cup flour. About a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. You can use raw as well. I prefer to put less sugar every time, so I never quite put what the recipe says. I either half it or I put just under that amount. For about a tablespoon of lemon zest. I am a huge lemon zest person. I love lemon in my dessert, so 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, it's all gravy. Just make sure you get a good amount. A 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Use your favorite measurement. You can either eyeball it or you can use a measuring spoon, however you like. You are also going to use a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Now remember, this is not soda. There is a difference between the two. So make sure that you have a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. So after we have our dough, we have a 2/3 cup coconut oil. And what we're going to do is we're going to use our hands to mix it in gently. And it should be crumbly. It shouldn't be sticking together. It feels really weird. But you're going to slowly incorporate some, so don't be afraid to get your hands messy. And we're just going to mix all this together to create kind of a dough that we will put on the bottom as our bottom layer of our berry bar. So here is our dough combined. See how it's sticking together? Now what I like to add, and I think it needs it a little bit, is just a tad bit of cinnamon. You can do a 1/4 of a teaspoon, how much you like, but I think the cinnamon will come through. And cinnamon is good for controlling blood sugar spikes, which after something sweet, I like to have, obviously, a little bit more control of that. And as you can see, it's crumbly, but it's still sticking together. Now we're going to take a little less than 2/3 of this, and we're going to press it on the bottom layer of our pan, which will be the bottom layer of our dough. I always like to use a slightly bigger pan so I can see what I'm working with. And if I need to take things out, it's not so hard then. I'm going to bake this layer for about 10 to 15 minutes until they start to brown a little bit, and we're going to put that in the oven. 1 cup of blueberries. So this is about 7 strawberries. I like to squeeze the strawberries out a little and make them a little easier because then it makes it easier. Look at our beautiful berries. They look so good. We're going to use a little sprinkle of Himalayan sea salt that you just need a pinch. That should work just fine. This will be about 2, and I'm using, of course, strawberry jam. We will continue. So that's a tablespoon. So far we have about 3 tablespoons. That'll be about our second. So that's 4 tablespoons of jam that we have so far. And it's a very special cranberry jam. So I'm very excited to see how this turns out. So we need 1, 2, and 3. So this baby right here is our beautiful jam mixture. We're just going to sprinkle this all in. We're going to add some vanilla in a second, but I do want to make sure that the jam is covering all of our berries nicely. Vanilla extract. Again, I like to add a little bit of cinnamon, just a tad, in our mixture. And if you feel like it, which I'm never opposed, I like more lemon zest. This is going to be a nice lemony dessert for us. Now what we've done is we have baked our bottom layer. As you can see, it's coming out of the oven. The edges should be slightly golden brown, which they are, as you can see. And what we're going to do now is we're going to spoon over our berry mixture over what we have. And this juice is the berry juice from our jam that we just put in, which is awesome. We're going to spread this out so it covers our little texture. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put our remaining topping on it, just lightly covering everything. We're going to comb that over gently as well. So this is our berry bars. We took it out of the oven when it started to bubble. The berries had started to bubble. It's gotten a little golden brown. It was about 25 to 28 minutes that I left it in, and now we gotta let it cool completely before we put it in the fridge for 2 hours. Then we will chop it up and serve it.